is a constitution? Constitution is defined as a whole body of fundamental laws, rules, regulations, conventions, and traditions according to which a state is governed. So we are talking about the basic law, the fundamental law that determines how a country is governed. Now, constitution is a law, but not all laws are constitutions. Now, the legislature is responsible for making laws in a country, and you see that every year laws are made. You will see the act of this, Labor Act, this one. There are many laws, penal codes. There are many laws in country. But the constitution is the basic, the fundamental one that defines how the state is governed. And it is supreme and above every other law, because every other law is subject to the constitution. Wherever a law is the provision of any law clashes with the provision of the grand norm, that is the constitution of a country, that law is null and void. The constitution will prevail, the provision. So it is the basic law, the fundamental law that governs the activities of a state. Now, let's look at the sources of the constitution. Now, when we say the sources of a constitution, we are talking about the areas where we get the provisions, all those things in the constitution. Where do we get them from? Now, number one is what we call acts of parliament or statutes or legislation. Now, this refers to laws made by the legislature. Now, when a constitution is to be drafted, some laws made by the legislatures are put into consideration and can be made to be part of the provisions of the constitution. The second one is what we call judicial precedents or court rulings. Now, these are the laws, these are the rulings rather, made by or pronouncements of higher courts, especially the Supreme Court. This is their pronouncement. So these pronouncements over the years have acquired the status of law, because lower courts are expected to follow the rulings of a higher court when they are handling similar cases. So these laws, these rulings or judicial precedents in framing or drafting a constitution, relevant ones are put into consideration and made to be part of the provisions of the constitution. The history of the people can also be the source of the constitution. Also, international laws, those laws made by international bodies, can also form